Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Blitzball Champ is back here with a brand new video. And today I'm going to be doing a video that probably you normally wouldn't see me doing. But I figured it's been forever. And with everything going on with the EXO crisis, this was something that I felt like it'd be good to do a video on and really kind of give my 2 cents on. So, this is going to be a review of WrestleMania 36. Yep, WrestleMania 36. Um, I ended up watching this while FaceTiming my dad and also while chatting with some of my good, close pro wrestling buddies. And I have to say, this was something that I had to, really gather my thoughts on after both nights took place, and really just kind of really put everything together that I really want to get out in this. I know there were some parts that I got really emotional, but had to also kind of go back and really sort of weigh everything and really get sense of why everything happened and such. But anyway, let's get started. Um, so first off, with everything going on, this WrestleMania 36 was originally supposed to take place at in Tampa Bay at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stadium. But with everything going on with the EXO crisis, that wasn't able to happen. So WrestleMania ended up being held at the WWE Performance Center, which I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is in Stamford, Connecticut. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But anyway, not only that, but they broke this up into 2 nights. So they made this Saturday night, April 5th, or excuse me, April 4th, and Sunday night, April 5th. So they broke this up into 2 nights. There were 16 matches, I guess 18 if you want to include the kickoff matches. But for the main card, 16 matches total. Anyway, shout outs to TJ Perkins, rocking my TJ Perkins shirt. Um, anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this. I got the list up right here, so I can go in the order which everything was shown. So, night one, starting off with the kickoff match was Cesaro versus Drew Gulak. I was really, I was really disappointed that this match was a short match. Given two athletes like Cesaro and Drew Gulak, and just even what they were able to do in the short amount of time that they had, I really felt like they should have had at least a good 10 to 15 minutes. I would have loved that to really showcase both these athletes. Both are great athletes, and putting these two in the ring together, you got to give them plenty of time. You got to give them time. And I just felt like they really weren't given that. I mean, I understand it was a kickoff match, but still, you had at least, 30 to 45 minutes. So I really felt like this could have easily gotten 10 minutes, and I would have been satisfied. But Cesaro picked up the victory after doing a torture rack airplane spin for a few seconds, no hands, which I thought was pretty cool, showcasing some of Cesaro's strength. But it would have been a better match if it was longer. I felt like if it was at least 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, I think it would have been a great match because you got two great athletes in there, and Drew Gulak and Cesaro, that I really felt could deliver in that amount of time. So, I mean, I was all for the match idea, just really was not long enough. Really was not long enough. But that's the kickoff of night one. So, the first match to start off on the main card of night one is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match, which pit the Kabuki Warriors, who are the champions, defending against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Which, do they even have a name for their tag team? If somebody knows, let me know. I don't even think they have an official name for their tag team. But anyway, um, overall, this was a pretty good match. This actually got a decent amount of time. Um, with there being no crowd, they also had. It was also pretty funny to hear a lot of the smack talk between both teams. Asuka was very, very hilarious, and I felt like she was the loudest out of everybody throughout that whole match. But was really hilarious to hear all the junk talk. But I gotta be honest with you. For Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, especially Nikki Cross, I feel like for Nikki, this was one of her best matches since being on the main roster, to be honest with you. I mean, I know we're all used to seeing the crazy Nikki Cross, and just a lot of what she's done, was really good on NXT, but even when they brought her up in Insanity, she really didn't get much at first when she came onto the main roster. And I feel like, with this type of match and how well her and Alexa Bliss did, I really feel like this was really one of her best matches since coming onto the main roster. And to have it, on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania, I thought this really did well for Nikki Cross. And, Alexa Bliss, definitely not even close to being one of the best wrestlers. But overall, she did good. And especially with both of them being in the ring against two world class athletes in Kairi Sane and Asuka, I thought they did well. I'll give that to them. I felt like they did well. I think the only issue that I had was, the botched Twisted Bliss onto Kairi Sane, which Alexa Bliss landed across her knees instead of her midsection. But overall, I mean, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss won the match and became the first ever two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, which, I figured that was going to happen. I mean, yes, the Kabuki Warriors are the longest reigning Women's Tag Team Champions, but their title run has been lackluster. I mean, it seemed like for the past, few months, Asuka was wrestling solo. So it's not like they were really defending the tag titles much. I think the last time they defended those belts before WrestleMania was all the way back in what, TLC, I believe. So I mean, and I know Kairi Sane, she's been gone for a while between then and now, because she had the concussion, and then she just recently was in Japan, got married. So I mean, overall, the Kabuki Warriors, they just their title run has been just terrible. You know, they haven't defended the titles much. Although I give them credit, you know, they're the only ones that have held the women's tag team championships that have actually defended them, on NXT. Not even Sasha Banks and Bailey did that, nor did the Iconics, nor did Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. So I got to give Kabuki Warriors credit for that. But in all honesty, this was the right choice. Get the tag titles off them. And honestly, I feel like two things should happen. Either one, Asuka and Kairi should totally leave WWE. I believe rumor has it that Kairi's contract supposedly ended March, and I know WrestleMania was technically um, taped early, but I really feel like this will be a great opportunity for them to leave the company. I mean, they haven't really done well with Asuka ever since Charlotte ending her undefeated streak at WrestleMania a few years ago. Um, and with Kyrie, I mean, she was brought up to the main roster as part of a tag team. You know, she hasn't really had much singles matches on the main roster, and I just feel like they're never going to really book her properly. So I feel like her going someplace else, AEW, or even back home to Stardom. I mean, Stardom wants her back badly. Her and Io Shirai, they want her back badly. So, and then Asuka, I mean, you could pretty much put Asuka anywhere else and she'll shine because of who she is, but, it's just really sad when you have someone like Asuka who's been a main roster champion once, whereas then you have somebody like, Alexa Bliss that's been a main roster champion 5 times. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Or 2, this is where you begin a storyline of splitting up the Kabuki Warriors and have them feuding. I would be happy with that. Asuka turn on Kairi Sane and build up a feud, a rivalry with that. Because you put those two in the ring together, they can put in some work, some real work, and put on a real great match. Of course, they have to be given the platform and the time, but if done correctly, they can create fire. So those are 2 things that I would be down with as far as the future of Kairi Sane and Asuka. But we'll see what happens. But this was a pretty good match. They got plenty of time, and the right outcome happened. Just the botched finish was just bad. And I was really digging that variation of the Doomsday device from Kairi Sane and Asuka. That was actually a pretty cool double team. But anyway, moving on. Next up, we had King Corbin against Elias. Started out looking like it was possibly going to be a forfeit with King Corbin getting the victory, but Elias shows up, gets the crack against the back of King Corbin with the guitar, all before the bell rung. And they ended up having a short match with Elias getting the roll-up victory, grabbing a handful of tights. But this was needed. This was very much needed for Elias, especially after suffering the attack that he got from King Corbin being thrown off of that balcony section. But this was the right outcome. I can dig that. I can't say the match was entertaining, but the right outcome happened. So I was okay with the outcome. And this was big for Elias. This was really big. Get a victory like that on WrestleMania. So this was the right call. This was definitely the right call. But the match wasn't really entertaining. I mean, I guess the guitar spot was okay. But, I mean, there's really not much to talk about with this match. So, but Elias with the victory, good call. Third match of the night, we had the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch, defending against the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. This also wasn't long of a match. I think it was like 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah. Shayna went for the Kirifuda clutch, got it in. Becky Lynch did the back roll and got the reversal pin. Which, I mean, I know a lot of people, are upset about that. I have my own mixed feelings about that. Me personally, it could have been worse. They could have had Becky tap out Shayna, which, that would have really been like the worst kind of thing that could have happened. But, I mean, we also have to remember the way Becky Lynch pinned Shayna was the exact same way Kairi Sane pinned her when she first won the NXT Women's Championship. You know, so I mean, there's been plenty of folks that have attempted that pin as a reversal. She's done that. Io Shirai attempted it. Like, I mean, that's just is what it is. I think the problem really lies in this. One, it was a short match. Two, Shayna's build-up. I mean, they had her pretty much destroy everybody at the Elimination Chamber. Clean sweep. Clean squash, even though I still argue that she did not squash Asuka. She exploited an injury. I say that because when they did the recap video, they didn't even show her destroying Asuka. So think on that one. But clean sweep, eliminated everybody at Elimination Chamber, all to come to, losing at WrestleMania. Oh, you know, I know she didn't win the Royal Rumble. Charlotte did, but just she had an incredible showing in the Royal Rumble. But only to lose to Becky Lynch. Now, I was kind of hoping that maybe Ronda Rousey would interfere and maybe help Shayna win, but I feel like with the whole label of Becky Lynch being the face, of the women's division on the main roster, like I kind of figured Becky Lynch was going to win, but it definitely is not over. This is far from over, and I do feel like Ronda Rousey will get involved some way, somehow. Supposedly, maybe an idea is Shayna wins Money in the Bank, but I don't even know if Money in the Bank is even going to happen because I thought that the word was it was going to get canceled, but who knows? I think it was mentioned about Money in the Bank being in May, but I don't know. But maybe that's a thought. Have Shayna win Money in the Bank, and then maybe she cashes it in, and that's how she beats Becky. But I mean, it was kind of a bummer, but I'm not surprised on the outcome of this match. I just wish it could have been longer. Really, really wish it could have been longer. But yeah, the man, still Raw Women's Champion. Next up, we had the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn defended against Daniel Bryan. Now, this is another one, kind of like with the kickoff match, that I really wish would have been longer. You got two great athletes in Sami Zayn, aka El Generico, and of course Daniel Bryan, aka the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Like, on a platform like WrestleMania, they should have been given like 20 minutes. This could have easily have been a potential candidate for match of the night if they would have just done this right. But it wasn't a long match, and Sami Zayn gets the victory after nailing D. Bry with the haluva kick. But I'm just not feeling the whole like Fidel Castro look that Sami Zayn has. That doesn't do it for me. But yeah, kind of a bummer. Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan both losing in the same night at WrestleMania. Just that sucks. But I really wish the match could have been longer. Like that type of match deserved 20 minutes. That could have been an instant classic. But oh man, sucks too because Intercontinental Championship is one of my favorite championships in all of WWE/F history. But yeah, such a bummer. Next up we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, which was a ladder match. So this was a triple threat non-tag team match for a tag team championship. Like, I'm sorry, but this WrestleMania was really, with the exception of the women's tag team titles, this WrestleMania was a really, really pretty bad WrestleMania for tag team championships. It really was. Okay, I get the whole fact that the Miz was out; he was ill, so couldn't be a part of this. Hope he gets better soon. But you have a match with one member of each tag team ladder match for the tag team titles. Like, the whole idea was just stupid. And what was sad about it, it was on paper, the match was actually good. The match was good. There was a lot of great spots, but the the whole idea was just dumb. You have three singles in there going competing for tag team titles. Like, it just it contradicts itself. And it's dumb. Despite how good the match was. But it was John Morrison defeating Kofi Kingston and Jimmy Uso. All three had their hands on the tag team titles. John Morrison got knocked off while holding the titles, falling onto the center bridge ladder. And that's how John Morrison wins the tag team titles. Just honestly, I would have rather them cancel this match altogether instead of having it this way. Because the whole idea was dumb. The idea was dumb. Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah, it was entertaining, but a triple threat, one on one match for a tag team title, dumb. Defeats the whole purpose of it. So I'm done with that. Next up, we had Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, and I have to say this was definitely one of the best matches of the night. Definitely, like, this was hard hitting. This was back and forth. This told a great story. This match was excellent. Kevin Owens originally got the disqualification victory after Seth Rollins hit him with the ring bell. Kevin Owens got on the mic. No, we're not. We're not done. This can't. This ain't gonna end like this. And pretty much calls Seth Rollins back. Want the match to restart as a no disqualification, no holds barred, the works. And Seth Rollins returns, obliges, and the match is restarted. And it's a no disqualification match. Good move, really good move. I wish it would have been a no DQ in the beginning in the first place, but it did redeem itself because afterwards had an incredible spot with Kevin Owens diving off the top of the WrestleMania 36 graphic, elbow drop onto Seth Rollins in the announce table. It was great. It was a great spot. Kevin Owens brings Seth back in the ring, gives him the icing on the cake, the stunner, which, I mean, Seth Rollins kind of slumped over. He didn't really sell it. He kind of just slumped over. Gets the 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens wins. I guess you could technically say yet again. But great match. Great match. Great storytelling with that. Kevin Owens stands tall with the victory over Seth Rollins. Enjoyed every bit of this match. Definitely gets a strong candidate for best match of the night. Next up, we had the Universal Championship title match. Goldberg, the champion, defending against Braun Strowman. Now, I have mixed feelings about this. So, this was originally supposed to be Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns backed out for, obvious reasons, which is understandable with, the whole exo crisis. And then he's got to take his health into account, somebody that was in remission from dealing with leukemia. So I get it. I get it. But here's where I'm kind of at a crossroad. So the replacement was Braun Strowman. Now, supposedly he had gotten a lot of heat from being, in a, I think, Instagram war with somebody on AEW in regards to the EXO crisis. But I just, my whole thing is, he just not too long ago recently won the Intercontinental Championship. Then immediately loses it to Sami Zayn. And now he's back in the title picture for the Universal Championship. Not only that, actually defeats Goldberg. He took a handful of spears, kicked out. Goldberg was going for a jackhammer. Braun Strowman reverses it and hits a couple of running power slams to get the victory. Like, what is this now? Just now the big men, the big power men are now just, when they have matches like this on, pay-per-view or whatever, they just trade signatures and finishers and that's it? Like, come on. Like, can we get some wrestling instead of just trading finishers and signatures and supers? Like, that gets old. That gets old. I just had to throw that in there because that gets annoying. That gets so annoying. It's like both have cheat codes enabled with unlimited finishers. It's just dumb. But like, I don't know. I just really feel like the whole path to Braun getting this title it just seems like the title get hot potatoed so much. I mean, it happened with the Intercontinental title, and now it just happened with the Universal title. That Goldberg, just had won back at what was it, Crown Jewel? It was either Crown Jewel or Super Showdown, one of the two. But yeah, just I don't know. I mean, part of me is happy for Braun because finally gets a big name singles title, that he can relish in, you know, and he's a North Carolina native like myself. So I just have mixed feelings. I really do. Like, it's like I was happy to see him win an Intercontinental Championship, and then just like that, he loses it to Sami Zayn, and it's like, what? And who's to say that won't happen again with him as Universal Champion? Like, who's to say that he'll even be holding on to this championship for long? It just has a history. Just has a real bad history with that. So, I don't know. I'm just not confident that they'll carry on Braun Strowman as, a Universal Champion that'll have a long title run. I think probably the only chance he has is maybe turning him heel. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. I have mixed feelings about how that went down. And then to the main event to cap off night one of WrestleMania 36 was the Boneyard match. It was AJ Styles taking on The Undertaker. And, I mean, this was an entertaining match, but this was pretty much very similar to the final deletion match between Matt and Jeff Hardy back on Impact Wrestling. Just with the production and how it was recorded and everything. But I mean, it was entertaining. The OC came out, this group of masked, cloaked men interfered to try to take down Undertaker. I mean, it was very exciting. It was entertaining. It was back and forth. And, at the end of the day, AJ Styles was about to bury The Undertaker. Undertaker disappears like Jason Voorhees and appears behind AJ Styles and pretty much became unstoppable from then on out, and ended up burying AJ Styles. Gets the victory, which I mean doesn't surprise me. You know, I did not expect AJ Styles to win this match. I mean, come on. Um, it was entertaining. It was definitely entertaining. Um, didn't really know what to expect as far as when the idea of a boneyard match came up, but you know, this delivered. This definitely delivered. I'll say that. And of course, Undertaker rides away into the darkness on his motorcycle, and yeah, gets the victory, and that's how we end night one of WrestleMania 36. So I have to say, night one was like I feel like the top three matches were the women's tag team title match, uh, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, and Undertaker versus AJ Styles Boneyard match. I would say those would be the top three if I had to pick three. Those would be my top three. The only reason why I didn't pick the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, even though it was a good match, was the whole idea behind it. It should have been canceled. There's no reason for it to have been a triple threat one for a tag team title. It was dumb. The whole idea was dumb. So that does it for night one. Let's fast track to night two. So night two, this was Sunday night for WrestleMania 36. The kickoff for this was Liv Morgan going against Natalia. And I mean, this was kind of an interesting idea for a kickoff match, but it was back and forth. You know, it wasn't that long, and Liv Morgan gets the reversal roll up pin with Natalia's legs crossed into like an X position, and Liv Morgan gets the victory over Natalia in the kickoff match. Is it me, or does it seem like Natalia loses a lot when it means the most? Like, I mean, I understand that she's, you know, jobbed out quite a bit, but dang, like, it's like she gets inserted into these big stage matches and just cannot win or even come close to winning. That just seems to be the trend for a long while with Natalia. I don't even remember the last time she even won a championship. So I think it was the SmackDown Women's title where she beat Naomi, but that was forever ago. But yeah. But Liv Morgan getting a victory on at WrestleMania. I mean, yeah. I have really nothing else to say about that. Okay, kicking off night number two. First match on the main card, oh god, was the NXT Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley rocking with the Vegeta Saiyan armor ring gear, going up against the Queen Charlotte. First off, this was actually a long match. I think they got that had to have been like 18 to 20 minutes. But they actually had a long match, which, I mean, that kind of doesn't surprise me given the fact that Charlotte's in it. I mean, Charlotte's on a big stage match, especially WrestleMania. You gotta give her all the time in the world. But at the end, I mean, for the most part, Charlotte was pretty dominant throughout this match. There was a botched spear, but at the end of the day, Charlotte got the tap out victory over Rhea Ripley, making her submit to the figure eight. And now Charlotte is a two-time NXT Women's Champion and total 12-time Women's Champion. Why? 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 You have Rhea Ripley, pretty much one of your hottest NXT female stars, right, and rising even more. She wins, her and her team wins at War Games, especially with her pinning Shayna Baszler. Her and her team win at Survivor Series. She dethrones Shayna Baszler for the title. And yes, I know she did defend once against Bianca Belair and won. And then all of a sudden, on her second title defense, on the grandest stage of them all, she loses to Charlotte. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so sick of Charlotte. This was probably the match that made me the angriest. So sick of Charlotte. I mean, it's bad enough that Asuka has yet to defeat Charlotte clean. But even rising NXT talent, and Charlotte just wipes out Rhea Ripley. I mean, Rhea Ripley, it remains to be seen if she's legit buried, but it seems like it after all that she's done, in her path to even get the dang on NXT Women's title. And part of me feels like now with Charlotte as NXT Women's Champion, I got this feeling now she's going to end up just running shot through the NXT Women's division. Because, come on. Like, who is going to get put over? What? Mia Yim? Bianca Belair? Candice LeRae? Io Shirai? Dakota Kai? Like, who's going to beat Charlotte? Who's going to beat Charlotte? Like, who's going to legit beat Charlotte? And I think another part of me feels like this happened maybe to help with the ratings on NXT as they continue to compete with AEW. But here's the thing. Nobody really wants Charlotte. It's gotten to the point where not a lot of people even like Charlotte. Because it's like she has to be in the spotlight in the big title matches. It's like she has to be involved. And it's getting out of hand. It's like you got so much talent you can build up. Charlotte just has to be in the mix. Like, why does she even have to win the Royal Rumble? Why? She didn't have to win the Royal Rumble. It could have easily been Shayna Baszler or Bianca Belair or another big star you could put over. But nah, it's got to be Charlotte Flair. And now she's a 12-time women's champion. It won't be long before she surpasses her father. Shoot, I say give it another 2, maybe 3 years. Oh, she'll surpass her father like that. Just, oh my goodness. This is just dumb outcome. Like, why does Charlotte need this title? Like, why? I don't understand it. I don't really understand. And y'all, please, like, comment. Give me y'all's thoughts on this, because I don't understand what good could come out of this. I mean, yeah, maybe on paper, oh, we could see Io Shirai versus Charlotte. But I mean, come on. Are you really going to have Io beat Charlotte when Asuka never could beat Charlotte? Come on now. Come on. Come on now. No. Or are you gonna have Bianca Belair beat Charlotte, who could never beat Shayna? Come on now. Come on. It's just the whole look of it. Just it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, next up, we had Aleister Black against a returning Bobby Lashley with Lana by his side. This was a dumb match. I mean, yeah, Aleister Black got the victory, countering the spear with the Black Mass, but the match idea was dumb. Like, this easily could have been AJ Styles versus Aleister Black, and that would have been fire. That would have been straight fire. But we get Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley with absolutely no build up, no story established, no nothing. All it turned out to be was another free win for Aleister Black. And they're still not going to do anything for him. When's he going to have a title match? He's just collecting free wins, free wins. You're not going to do anything with Aleister Black. Like, what are they going to do with him? They ain't going to do nothing with him. Despite winning on the grandest stage, you're not going to do anything with Aleister Black. He's probably one of the main NXT call-ups that's had such a high win percentage. I ain't going to do nothing with him. It's just, the whole match idea was dumb. This could have easily been Aleister Black versus AJ Styles. Because I really didn't like the whole idea of AJ Styles versus Undertaker in the first place. I mean, the Boneyard match was entertaining, but I would have rather have AJ Styles versus Aleister Black. Anyway, pardon me. Next up, we have Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. This was entertaining. This was entertaining. The outcome was perfect. Sonya Deville tried to distract the referee. Dolph Ziggler got the low blow. And the pure gold. Mandy Rose shows up, slaps the taste out of Sonya Deville, gives Mr. Ziggles the low blow. Otis gets the worm elbow drop, gets the victory, and we get a celebration with Otis and Mandy Rose and a kiss as the icing on top of the cake. Great, great win for Otis, and he gets the girl. Of course, it was all explained on SmackDown that Sonya was the culprit in sabotaging Otis and Mandy's date. So, this was a great way to, I don't know if that, has officially ended that storyline, but Otis got the girl. So, I thought this was really cool, and that is the end of Fire and Desire. I'm kind of bummed, though, because I really wanted to see Fire and Desire, have their moment of stardom and really shine in the tag division, considering how lacking the women's tag team division is already. But I really wanted Fire and Desire to really be something, but, looks like that, that's not going to happen. So, at the end of the day, this was the right ending. This was the right outcome. And I'm happy for Otis. I was kind of surprised that Tucker wasn't there, but, Mandy Rose came out, and this was right. Everything, worked out the way it was supposed to. And Otis not only wins at WrestleMania, but he walks out with Mandy Rose. So good stuff. Good stuff. Next up, we had the last man standing match. Hall of Famer Edge against Randy Orton, former tag team partners of Rated RKO. This right here was definitely the best match of night 2, WrestleMania 36. These two got all the time in the world to flat out destroy each other. I think they must have had like 45 minutes to an hour, it seems. They had a lot of time. Like, I don't know the exact time, but it had to have been close. But these two were flat out destroying each other all around the performance center. And it ended up finishing on the top of a big rig, whereas Randy Orton was getting ready to do the punt kick, but Edge counters with his submission, the same submission he used to tap out MVP. And then, even as the referee was counting while Randy Orton was out, Edge stops the count, grabs a chair, places it under Randy Orton's head, grabs another chair, and he has a moment. He has a moment where he's, sad, he's crying, he's in tears. He just has that moment. And then, bam. The one-man concerto across Randy Orton. And it's just a moment of just silence. And all you could hear was the referee count to 10. Edge, your winner. Your last man standing. This was a great match. Best match of the night. Hands down. The storytelling through this match was excellent. The build-up was really great. This was excellent. What a big way for Edge to come back. His first singles match in 9 years. 9 years. And he returns on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania, and picks up a big victory. I love it. I love it. Very happy for Edge. I've always been an Edge fan. Very happy for Edge. So this was excellent. The match was excellent. Any sort of match like this, Randy Orton always delivers. Randy Orton's an excellent heel. My only thing is, where do they go from here? What's next from Edge? I felt like this was a great way to end this sort of feud. But really, what's next for Edge? Will he ever get placed back into the title picture? I mean, that's a thought. But what's next for Edge? We don't know. 1 second. Ah. Okay. Next up. Let's see where we at. Okay, so next up we have the Raw Tag Team Championship match. This is the Street Profits defending against Austin Theory and Angel Garza, accompanied by Zelina Vega. This match felt really weird. I mean, Austin Theory is already in his first WrestleMania, not originally part of any stable or tag team, was an Evolved talent, just recently got onto NXT, and already he's in a tag team match for the titles. And that's not to take anything away from Austin Theory. Great wrestler. I've seen him live. The dude can go. But dang, this is another one that could have been did it really need to happen? Did this match really need... Well, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this match even happening. But at the end of the day, While Austin Theory had Angelo Dawkins covered, frog splash from Montez Ford pulls Angelo Dawkins onto Austin Theory, gets the 1, 2, 3. Street Profits retain at WrestleMania. Um, to be honest, I felt like Street Profits, for the most part, dominated this match, but then at the end, uh, they attacked the Street Profits. Zelina Vega got in on the action by kicking Montez Ford. And then, surprise, surprise, the EST of NXT, Bianca Belair, comes in for the save as backup for the Street Profits and just tears up Zelina Vega, hits her with a KOD. Street Profits stand tall with the EST. They hoist her up, and all is well. So that was pretty cool to see Bianca Belair make an appearance on WrestleMania and get into some of the action. And of course, those of y'all that don't know, Montez Ford and Bianca Belair are a married couple. So that's actually her husband. So that was cool. That was really cool. It just makes me wonder, is that just, a one time moment thing? Or are we gonna see appearances from Bianca Belair on the main roster? Like, what's the deal? But it was a nice moment for the Street Profits. Very nice moment. Bianca Belair showing up, even in the odds. Pretty cool ending. I like the ending. Not big on the match idea, but I like the ending. The ending was good. Next up, let's see, where are we? Okay, next up, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which was a 5-way elimination match. This put the likes of Tamina, Naomi, Lacey Evans, Sasha Banks, and the champion Bayley. Now, I mean, for the most part, this was a good match. I'll say that. This was a pretty good match. I have mixed feelings with the outcome, though. So, here's how things went down. Pretty much everybody ganged up on Tamina, and thus Tamina was eliminated first. Not surprised by that. Naomi was eliminated second when she tapped out to the bank statement. Sasha Banks was eliminated third after getting nailed by a woman's right from Lacey Evans, which before that, Bayley accidentally hit Sasha, run into the turnbuckle, and they kind of had an argument. But Bayley, they sort of regrouped. But in the midst of that, Lacey was able to hit Sasha with the women's right and pin Sasha. So Sasha was eliminated third. It all came down to Lacey Evans and Bayley, which I mean we've kind of seen these two already one on one, so doesn't surprise me. But I really wanted Sasha Banks to win because I felt like this was the best opportunity for Sasha to finally turn on Bayley, especially on the grandest stage, WrestleMania. This was the perfect opportunity. But my guess is that it was probably held back because it probably would have made more of an impact if there was a crowd. So that's probably my best thought on why that trigger wasn't pulled on turning Sasha against Bayley. I think it would have made more of an impact, which I get. I get it. It would have made more of an impact if it was in front of the crowd. So I guess I can kind of get why they held back. But I don't know. It's WrestleMania. I mean, it is what it is. I just felt like this was a great opportunity for Sasha to turn on Bayley. But at the same time, Bayley with a win at WrestleMania does her a lot of good. So I mean, I don't know. After thinking back over with this match, I kind of came to this conclusion. So, because at first I did not agree with Sasha Banks losing. I felt like this would have been the best time for her to win, but I get it. I do get it. But Bailey seals the deal after Sasha comes back in, hits Lacey Evans with a backstabber, and Bailey gets the pin, finishes her off, and yeah, Bailey still your SmackDown Women's Champion. But overall, it was a pretty good match. Next up, we had the Firefly Funhouse match, which was the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. Oh man. Well, a lot of my friends really enjoyed this match. Me personally, I thought it was dumb. I mean, it had some moments that kind of made me laugh. Had some funny moments, but honestly, I thought it was dumb. I really thought it was dumb. It wasn't one that was very enjoyable for me, but it had some funny moments. It did have some funny moments. I will give it that. But I just really. But I guess this is the way that The Fiend was able to redeem himself by getting a victory like this, I guess, on WrestleMania, even though he got squashed by Goldberg and lost the Universal title, which, oh, that's so dumb. But, I mean, there were some entertaining parts, but I don't know. I guess Cena was like, I'm okay with laughing at myself. So, but, yeah, just. I guess this was supposed to be, I would have thought, similar to like the Boneyard match, but yeah. Definitely not a match that I enjoyed. So, but hooray for the Fiend. Fiend got a victory at WrestleMania. So, yeah. Although the build up for this was not really good. So many opportunities the Fiend could have attacked John Cena but didn't. You know, kind of like how the Fiend did with everybody else, but whatever. And then the main event of night 2 to seal off the final match of WrestleMania 36 was the WWE Championship match with Brock Lesnar, the champion, defending against Drew McIntyre. Wasn't a long match. My thing is this. I got so many different feelings about this. First off, once again, Brock Lesnar or any other big name, and all they did was just trade finishers. Brock hit a couple of F5s. Drew McIntyre kept kicking out. Even kicked out of the first F5 on one. Drew hit a Claymore. Brock kicked out. It's just like, it's dumb. Like, can we get some wrestling? Especially with that being your main events. Like, come on. Like, can we get some wrestling? Can we not get a finisher here, a finisher there, a finisher here, a finisher there? It's like, really? Like, come on. Like, it's just lazy. Really, really lazy. Lazy booking. Really lazy. But ultimately, Drew McIntyre hit a couple of more Claymores and got the victory and defeated Slade the Beast and became WWE Champion for the first time in his career. Happy, very happy for Drew McIntyre. It's a bummer that, you know, it was in an empty arena. So, but yeah, a lot of build up. You know, Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble. So wow, well you look at that. Both winners of the Royal Rumble ended up winning their respective matches. I remember when Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka won their Royal Rumble matches and they both lost their respective championship matches. Wow. But very happy for Drew McIntyre. Had a lot of build up and delivered. And it'll be interesting to see where things go from here with Drew McIntyre. Like who are they gonna put into the mix to have a feud with him? You know, this will be interesting. This will be interesting. And I hope Drew McIntyre can have a nice title run. I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it. But yeah, that's WrestleMania 36. I have to say probably my top 3 matches for night 2. Ugh. Uh probably Otis versus Dolph Ziggler, mainly because of the outcome. Um, the SmackDown Women's Championship match, because I mean it was a good match, and Edge versus Randy Orton, the Last Man Standing match, with that one being taking the number 1 spot and taking the number 1 spot overall between both nights. So yeah, those would be my top 3. Overall, though, definitely one of the worst WrestleManias compared to a lot of WrestleManias. This is definitely one of the worst, maybe the worst of all time, but pretty down there. Pretty down there. Like, and it'll be interesting to see how they carry forward from this, you know, with, you know, still being with everything going on with the XO crisis. I just, yeah, definitely, one of the worst WrestleManias, to be honest with you. But some of the outcomes were pretty on point. But yeah, the most unique WrestleMania ever, but potentially one of the worst, if you ask me. But that's it. That's my review. Let me know what y'all think. Comments, feedback. What did y'all like? What did y'all not like? What outcomes do you think would have been better? How do you think this whole WrestleMania could have been better? Let me know what your thoughts. Please do share. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank y'all so much for watching. This is Blitzball Champ signing off. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe, and protect yourself out there. Let's all do our part. Take care. Have a blessed day. Peace.